Hey everyone, it's Joe, the 50-something Dasher, and you're watching another installment of my DoorDash Daily Recap video. Every offer, every delivery, every adventure. Let's break it all down right now. Alright guys, this is the recap video for Tuesday, May the 7th, and a lot to go over in this one. I've said it before, never a dull moment in the world of delivery driving, so a lot to unpack here. Let's get right into it. Logged in yesterday morning, start time was 5:48 a.m. You see here, first screenshot, get an offer right away, $4.56, McDonald's. 7.3 miles, but I factor in 3 miles when I take an order from home. So I went ahead and took this, and just to get out there, get the wheels turning, just to not have to wait for an order. I just wanted to log in, get started, get out there. I get to the McDonald's and the worker handing me the food is a familiar face. I work with this person at my W-2. So, pretty crazy. I didn't know, you work there. But, yeah, I've talked about it before. My W-2 used to be years ago a full-time job. Now it's essentially a part-time job. And I'm not the only one that works there that's had to get other means of income. And I'm sure, there's a lot of people out there in the times we live in today that has to do the same thing, working these multiple jobs to make ends meet. But I deliver this and pull up the pay screen here. I was wondering why that kind of odd amount, 456, and this is why right here, a 31-cent customer tip. And I've talked about this before. If you're going to leave less than $1, then just don't leave anything at all. To me, a 0 tip is, I can take that better than a 31-cent tip. To me, less than if you leave like 1 cent to 99 cents, that's like, slapping a driver across the face. And it just my personal opinion here. And then at this point, so about like 9 minutes later after this is when I turn on Uber for the morning. I was, in between orders and just figured I'd turn it on to see what comes across. And then I don't have a screenshot of the initial offer, but I got a $6.30 offer from Tim Hortons. So I went ahead and took it. The mileage was low on it. And it ultimately delivered to a familiar customer. It's near my W-2, and I've called this the cat house in previous videos. There's normally stray cats around. But the thing is, and maybe my fellow Uber drivers that are watching, can kind of comment below and kind of help me out on this. I'm still trying to figure the Uber app out, if I can spit it out. Still trying to figure it out. So I would like to be able to see customer instructions before I get started on the route. And that's what I do with DoorDash. And I fiddled around with it for just a few seconds. I couldn't see any instructions. So I went ahead and got started. And long story short, so when I was on my way and looking at the pin on the map, I recognized the customer name. I had an 80% chance that this was a customer that I thought it was, but I wasn't 100% sure. But then I realized it was this customer that I've delivered to before with DoorDash. And then after I got there, and that's when I saw the customer instructions on the Uber app. It's the house with the long gravel driveway and yada yada. If I could have seen that first at Tim Hortons, and then I would have known for sure. I had an Uber order later in the shift that I'll talk about, that on that order, like from the bottom of the screen, like where the navigation map is, I scrolled up from the bottom and I was able to see there on that view that that was like a hand to customer order, but I didn't see any further instructions. So I'm guessing that's how you see the instructions. But I'll get used to it. I'll figure it out. This might need a little bit of help here. And then next was this screenshot here I got, and this is, I think, before I had even dropped off the Tim Hortons order. I want to say I got this $7 White Castle 10 miles, so that was a decline. So then was now the screenshot, this was taken a little bit later on. So there you see my pay for the Tim Hortons, $6.30. And you see there, it took me a little under 13 minutes. It was 2.5 total miles. So I will say so far about Uber Eats, like it's only been a few days I've been using it, but each time that I've turned it on, I've been getting offers. So it's good from that standpoint, because I will have those time periods with DoorDash where I might go 20 minutes, 30 minutes, sometimes as long as 45 minutes to an hour, and I don't get anything. And like I said, at least in these early first few days here of using Uber Eats, when I have turned it on, stuff is coming to hitting my screen. So, okay, next I get a 1525 Meyer going 15 miles, and it's all of the mileage is because I'm actually, this is you see all of this is in zone, but on the opposite sides of zone, and I'm closer to the customer than I am to Meyer. So I have to drive across zone to the Meyer and then back in the direction where I was and go past that into the customer. That's why the heavy miles here is just because of my position. So I went ahead and took it. So here's the list and the shopping time on this order. Pretty easy. Only 4 different things to shop for, and one of them I couldn't find, the pretzel snacks, and I went down the aisle that the app said it was supposed to be in, and I went down that aisle back and forth, combed that aisle twice, didn't see it. And then I went to the other aisle that like potato chips and pretzels and stuff like that is in, and checked that aisle, didn't see it there either. The customer gave the option to just refund that, and so that's what I did. And so that's kind of why this took a little, if I could have found that right away, this would only been maybe like a 3.5, 4 minute shop. And then pay screen on this, $10.25, $5 tip. So for $15.25. Next was a $7 4-mile McDonald's. So yeah, this works. Went ahead and took this. And I pretty standard pickup and delivery. Don't have anything else in my notes for it. $2 from DoorDash, $5 tip, $7. There you go. I get an Uber decline next. I'm not sure why this says package. It's kind of weird, but so I'm assuming just a pickup order from Walmart. 8 miles. paying $6. They expect it to take 39 minutes. So this just didn't seem like it would be worth my time, obviously. So I declined that. Um, and then I get one that I do take, a $7 5 mile Starbucks. And this is going to be my first time picking up in Starbucks in my zone because they don't do DoorDash for whatever reason, but they do Uber Eats. Why, I don't know, but so I go to I start heading towards Starbucks, and then I get this push notification. I'm driving, so I can't take a screenshot of it right away, but I took a screenshot later because the notification was still on my phone. But a message from Uber: if you don't head towards the pickup location, the order will be given to another courier. The thing about that was I was almost there. I was just a few, maybe like, I don't know, 40 or 50 feet away from I was just about to get into the turning lane for the traffic light to turn into the shopping center where the Starbucks is when I get this notification. I'm like, well, I mean, I'm already here. So that was really weird. I go to make my turn, and the left lane, so it'd be the oncoming lane, is all like gone and ripped up. And there's this construction crew. And so if I had and like, were they allowing people to drive on that side of the road or not? I mean, I don't know. It's completely like torn out. So now I knew, because the other side of the shopping center, that's where the Panera was. Panera, Five Guys, and Charlie's Steaks, which are all on DoorDash. So now I knew I wasn't even going to chance it. If I got offers for any of those three places, I'm not even touching that, on this dash. So, but the Starbucks was on the other side, so that's unaffected. I pull in, I park. The drive-through is packed, and a long line like inside of the place as well. I mean, it was busy as can be. But my order was like sitting there right there on the counter. So it's just a grab and go, and I was out of there. So super easy, super quick from for me. And that go and deliver that. And then next was let's see, this was a decline. This 525 4 Mile Dollar General, 9 items. I was at home when I got this, and just this wasn't enough to incentivize me to get out the door. Shopping 9 items for $5. Decline. The next one I did take. So you got 10 miles, $14. I just got to pick up one item from PetSmart and then a pickup at IHOP. 2 orders going to the same customer. So I went ahead and took this. I figured, the PetSmart's probably going to be a bag of dog food, I would imagine. But it wasn't. I got inside the PetSmart and go to pull up the item, and it's this gourmet style mealworms. So I was totally like caught off guard with this. I've never shopped for something like this before. I don't know where in the store this is going to be. I try to find it on my own. You see here, it took me over the recommended time, over 3 minutes against recommended 2 minutes. I did find an end cap that had some there was a fridge. There were some live worms and also some worms like dried in a can like this, but not this. And so I asked somebody, and she walked me to it. It was a different aisle. It was down an aisle, not on an end cap. and found it. And then, of course, went to the IHOP. That order was ready. Didn't have to wait on that. Delivered the order and pay screen. So $6.25 and then $8 worth of tips for $14.25. Next was a McDonald's. 675, 8 miles. I took it, just, a little bit upside down on the miles to money, but I don't, I especially took it because of this time, 10:15. That's normally a slower time for me, and I don't mind going south. So went ahead and took this. It wasn't bad. So that was at 10:15. I had that dropped off at 10:36, and it was only going to take me, 5-10 minutes to get back to the pickup areas and right at the start of lunchtime. So there you go, $2.75 and $4 tip. But I didn't get like a good offer next. I got a couple declines at this time. So actually I'm not even back to the pickup area yet. I'm just leaving the customer, and I get this $3 McDonald's, no explanation needed, decline. Even though the customer's real close to the McDonald's, still it's only $3. 3 minutes later, I'm closer to being back. 475, 7 miles, decline. I should get something better than this. Okay, and then next, another decline. I'm not, to be honest, I forget now. I honestly just completely forget why I declined this, because I would subsequently take an order that was probably worse than this one. But this one I declined, 1275, 12 miles. I guess I probably just, didn't want to go into downtown at this particular time. I was, hoping for a better lunch or possibly a catering order here. I mean, so you're really hoping for at this particular time. So I declined this one. And then next was, I had to wait about 8 minutes. I took this, even though, only $8, because I had already declined. What was that? 3 declines in a row. I figure I'd go ahead and take something. And I'm going south again. This is going to be kind of like a time killer, but I don't know. I just took it, sue me. So somebody can take me to court and sue me for the $8. You'll probably win. Drop that off at $11.09. $3 from DoorDash, $5 tip. So, get another decline here. 1172, 8.9 miles, but I don't know. I just didn't like this. The 15 items from Meijer. Again, another order where everything's going to the same customer, but this just seemed like this was going to be too much trouble for $11 to me. So I declined this one. Next was now this one I did take, which is a little bit more mileage, about the same pay, but I went ahead and took this. Here I've only got the Meijer, and it's only 3 items instead of 15, and no restaurant to pick up from. So this is, kind of a better order than the previous one, I think. And I went ahead and took this. It's like, it's 11, it's past 11:30 now. I didn't get a good catering order. Okay, whatever. So I just, go ahead and take this. Kind of a strange shopping list here. Ice cream, bagel bites, and brie. It's kind of weird, but okay. Took me just 3.5 minutes to shop, and I had that dropped off at, so it took me from that previous screenshot, it took me 20 minutes to get checked out to my car, get to the customer. 20 minutes. 750 from DoorDash, 450 tip, $12. Okay. Now I'm just, I'm South Columbus area. Now I'm just obviously trying to get back to zone. But instead I get a offer as I'm trying to get out of there. 12.50 for 6 miles. All two Aldi's orders, 24 items, and this was a decline. First of all, now of course I'm driving, so I can't tell. I can't really look at this to see, but I can at least tell that that's not my Aldi's. That's some other Aldi's. Looks like it's probably on South High Street area, so it'd be a location that I haven't been to before. And 24 items, this might be kind of hard to separate these orders out in the cart, with that many items. So this was a decline. I just didn't want to mess with this. And then, so just 3 minutes later, I'm on the interstate at this point, heading south, trying to leave zone, and thank you very much, catering order. But this is a downtown order, though. That's the only problem. And even though you see my position on the on this map here, I'm south of all this, and I'm heading south. But even it's 6.4 miles. They've already factored in me having to drive to the next exit, get off, turn around, and come back to come back to downtown. That's already factored in. So I went ahead and took this. So I'm on the interstate. I have to drive down to the next exit, get off, turn around, and then I'm coming back to downtown. And I was kind of I'd never been to this Chipotle location before. Were they going to have a parking lot or not? It'd be really, really nice if they had their own parking lot, but they didn't. Thank you very much. There was just street parking in front of the Chipotle, maybe room for about 6 different cars. There was one spot open I would have had to parallel park in, but it looked pretty tight to me. So I decided to skip that. I passed the store, turned down the little alley, and parked in a parking lot to like a business next door. Walk into the Chipotle, packed. I mean, this is, you see here that screenshot 12:02, so I probably arrived there like at 12:10 or something like that. Packed. Line of people clear against the whole, wall, all the way from the counter, clear back almost to the door. I start my approach to the other side of the counter, and before I even get back to the counter, I see a table with a catering order sitting there. There's like 3 boxes and a bag. And I go up to it, and I'm kind of like looking at the order, walking around it, trying to see if I can see a name on it, or I don't see any. It's not marked at all. And then, but fortunately, there was another dasher standing there. He said, "Hey, are you here for so and so?" And he gave my customer name. I was like, "Yeah," and he was like, "Yeah, that's your order there." And I was like, "Oh, cool." I was like, and I don't think he didn't speak English too well though, and I tried to ask him. I said, "Do you know if this is all of the order? Or is there more of it?" And I don't think he understood what I was asking. But then, fortunately, a couple seconds later, a worker came out, and I asked them, and they said, "Yeah, that's the order right there." And then I asked if I could get help out to the car with this, and so they grabbed a kid, and he came and helped me. We're walking to the car, and of course I've got two of the boxes. The other guy's got one box and the bag of utensils and stuff. And my phone starts ringing. It's in my pocket. I can't answer it. So it rings a few times, goes to voicemail, and whoever this is, like, immediately calls again. Well, now I'm able to set the boxes down, go to grab my phone, and it's DoorDash support. First time ever that I've ever received a phone call from them. And I've watched other gig tubers videos where you have to be careful on this type of thing, because if they're calling you, it could be like some kind of scam call. So you don't want to only give out any kind of detailed information if you are calling DoorDash support. If it's the other way around, tell whoever that is, hey, let me hang up and I'll call in. But this call wasn't asking for any kind of like sensitive information. I answered. They said, "Hey, this is DoorDash support. You're on this Chipotle order? Have you picked it up?" Yes, I picked up the order. Okay, and then that's all they wanted to know. And I guess the customer was putting heat on DoorDash. And so I said, "Yeah, I picked up the order. I'm loading it into the car now, and I'm about to be on my way." And that's all the phone call was. So I get started out, and the customer is close. It's only like maybe a mile and a half, no more than 2 miles from the Chipotle. I deliver to, next screenshot, I deliver to a private school that, looks like a, castle here. I later researched this school on Wikipedia after I got home. So it's pretty cool. So this big gated, private school, I had to pull up to a gate. I had to call a phone number to be buzzed in. The door opens. I park in a visitor parking spot, but as you can see in the picture, this is a big place, and there's lots of different doors and everything. There's a sign to a main entrance, but like I see other doors as well. And this is a lot to carry, so I got to find out first exactly which door I'm going into before I start unloading this. I try to call the customer and dial the specific extension number that was in the instructions. Nobody's answering. So I figure, okay, I'll get out of the car and I'll walk first to the entrance and try to find somebody first. So I kind of a funny story. I get out of the car, and before I even have time to think or do anything, the customer is approaching me like really fast and really agitated. And hey, are you here with the DoorDash order, the Chipotle? Yeah. And okay, so long story short on that, the customer had been waiting like over an hour on this order. It was a higher paying catering order and hey, I don't know. You see you saw the time on that screenshot. I accepted that order at 12:02, and I closed it out at 12:32. So 30 minutes like total that I had anything to do with this order. So 12:32. So is probably about 4 to 5 minutes before that I arrived. So you're talking in 25 minutes, I went the wrong direction, got off an exit, backtracked, got to the Chipotle, picked up the order, got to the customer in 25 minutes. So I made good time, far as I'm concerned. And but anyway, I told the customer, well, hey, I just got this order. I tried to explain as best I could. I said, I'm not a downtown driver. I'm actually a Grove City driver. I dropped off an order and I was heading back home when I got this and had to turn around. And so, yeah, I said, I don't know. I said that it could have been where, I can't tell you, it might have got passed around some other drivers. Or I said another driver may have got there and the order wasn't ready yet and they dropped the order. Or I can't say for sure what happened. Now, what I should have done, and I didn't think it, this is the first time I've ever been in this situation before, so I didn't think to do this in this moment. But what I should have done is showed her the screenshot of the time that I received the order. Said something like, hey, Mrs. Customer, look, I apologize that you had to wait for this order, but I just want you to know that it wasn't having anything to do with me. If I could just take a second to show you this screenshot here, you see here that 12:02, this is when this order hit. This first time I ever knew anything at all about this order was less than a half hour ago. So I got that's when I got it at 12:02. I had to go to the next exit, backtrack. I did all of this in decent amount of time frame. So it was the delay that you experienced was with whatever all happened before 12:02, whatever all was going on at that time, which I know nothing about. And I don't know. It's too bad DoorDash couldn't have provided additional information on that in a situation like that. Well, like, can't they just tell a customer, well, we had it on another driver, but there was a long wait. They had to give the order back. We've got another driver on it. They can't say that. I don't know. DoorDash support sometimes is helpful, sometimes they're not helpful. It's one of those things. But anyway, the customers seem to be understanding. So I go to close out that order, and here you see it right here, $83. It's $8 from DoorDash, $75 tip. And so now this is my new record for my highest paying single offer that I've completed. Crazy. And I'm sure if DoorDash gave customers the ability to take their tip back or whatever, this particular customer may have lowered that tip amount if they could have, for something that wasn't my fault. It's just kind of, it's kind of an unfortunate situation that the order that sets my record now for the highest paying order is kind of like unfortunate that it wasn't like the perfect and smooth like delivery. There had to be issues with it, which kind of sucks, but I still got the $83. So the previous record was just this past February 20th was, and you can go back and watch the video on that, is $73.54 Bob Evans catering order was the previous record. And my record for the highest paying offer that I received was, you have to go back to February 28th of 23 last year, and that was $96 for a stacked city barbecue. Two catering orders, where one, I think one paid like 54 and the other one paid 42 or something like that. Then after this, I was fine to just, log off after making $83 on this order. So I go to try to log off, and right as before I could even hit log off, I got this $2.60 McDonald's picking up somewhere in downtown Columbus. Obvious decline. And then I could log off. So here's the dash summary. It was a 6-hour, 44-minute dash, and 9 deliveries completed. $150.81 from DoorDash, and then the 2 Uber deliveries for $13.35. So that's $164.16. Drove just 119 miles to get that. Now at 3,029 lifetime DoorDash deliveries. Started the dash at 66% acceptance, and unfortunately dropped down to 64%. And normally I would end the video here, but wait just a second, there's more. So my dash is over. I come home, eat lunch. My wife and I are just relaxing, watching TV, doing whatever, and I get on the Uber app to show her the opportunities tab, where prior to yesterday I would just see like these $7 and $8 Walmart pickup orders. Well, I saw one that was showing over, and here's the screenshot, showing $22.11. And this, you see the screenshot here, 2:56 in the afternoon, and it's a scheduled pickup time at 5:45, $22, 3 stops, so that's Walmart and 2 customers, and estimated to take, let's see, no, the estimated time to take is not on this. But a deadline drop off of 7 p.m. But, I talked to her. I was like, would you want to go on a Walmart run with me? Should I just go ahead and take this? And if you want to go with me, and we'll check it out and we'll see what this is like and what it's all about. And she was up for it. So I went ahead and took this. We actually both took a nap, actually, and woke up, about 20 minutes or so before I had to log on to do this. I logged in. The app said that I had to make sure I was online at least a half hour before the pickup time. So I needed to be online at 5:15 at the latest. So I logged in at 5:10. So I'm logged in, and a few minutes after that, we get started out to Walmart. I know nothing about this. I don't know how this is going to work. First time doing this. If I get there early, can I possibly get the orders early? We'll find out. When I'm on my way, and this is what I don't like about this, was sending me offers while I just want to do this. I'm not interested in other offers. So they send me one at 5:14. So I decline this, $10.38 bowl boba. Estimated time 38 minutes, 18 miles. So if I do, why would the system even offer this to me? Why would I do this? And I'm clearly going to miss the pickup time and have to be taken off the Walmart. So why in the world would the algorithm even be programmed to even send me this? This doesn't make any sense. I don't know. I don't know anything here, folks. 15 minutes later, we're pretty much close to the Walmart at this point, and $7. But from this halal New York gyro, I'd never heard of it before. Expected to take 33 minutes. Again, I'm almost to the Walmart. We're about to pull in. And I mean, why would I give up $22 or whatever it was for $7? I don't, your guess is as good as mine. And another one, $5. Now, I possibly maybe could have done this one. It's 6:31. They're anticipating this would take 15 minutes. Possibly I could have done that, but no, I don't want to fool around with this. Anything could happen. The order could not be ready. I mean, just anything. So I'm just doing my Walmart order here. So we arrive actually just 1 minute after this. I'm in one of the parking spots to pick up the order. So 5:32 arrival, and I get I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And it was about 4 minutes later where the instructions now popped up on my phone in the Uber app, and I was able to check in through the app and put my parking spot number and all those things. Okay, so now I'm checked in, and I should have put in my notes what time we actually got the order, but I didn't. The appointment time was 5:45. It probably wasn't quite 10 minutes. It's probably about 7 or 8 minutes past the appointment time. The guy comes out with both orders. I help him with loading everything into the car. I wanted to make sure the bigger order, like I moved both catering bags to my trunk and put the bigger order back there, and then the smaller order was in the back seat. So he puts everything, we put everything in the car. He goes away, and then I get to the next step, which is scanning the barcodes for each order. There wasn't normally. I know my wife and I have done pickup orders from Walmart for ourselves in the past, and we've done this at Walmart, and where they deliver the order and some of the sacks have those stickers on it I've seen the labels with the barcodes and everything, and I saw the labels when this guy delivered the order, and I saw the customer names. The labels were on the totes. But there wasn't any on the bags, and so I wasn't sure what to do. Should we call the number to the store? Should we call them first, get those labels? I was kind of thinking, should I call Uber support for the very first time? See if maybe I can do this order, if I can bypass that step without scanning the labels. I don't know. While I'm trying to so we both try both of those things. As I'm trying to mess with how do I reach support, she's calling the store. So she gets somebody on the phone, an associate. Long story short, that associate comes out, looks at our orders, and prints out a couple labels for us and puts it on the orders for me. So, and that now I have the labels to scan, and then off I go. Both of these orders delivered to really bad neighborhoods. I mean, scary neighborhoods. The second delivery we were walking up the steps to the customer's house and just overpowered by the smell of weed, which I can't stand that. I don't know. That's a whole nother video, but why so many people had to be weed smokers, I don't know. I don't get it, but it's just, I can't, hate the secondhand smell of that, hate that worse than cigarette smoke, to be honest. I can't stand it. Get you some gummies or something, or the chocolates, or I mean, come on. Can you be a little bit like less harmful to the surroundings and other people? I don't know, man. Okay. I complete the second delivery at 6:40, and so 55 minutes, and and then we so 6:40 we got home. Now we stopped and got something to eat and everything. Initially we were going to cook at home, but we had too much time wrapped up in this. It was kind of getting late, so now we had to run through a drive-through, and we didn't pull into our garage until 7:10. So I like remember I initially logged in at 5:10, pulled back into the garage at 7:10. So I had 2 hours tied up in this. My wife was like, well, yeah, but we were only less than an hour where we were actually like doing anything or whatever. But I don't know. I just looked at it a little bit differently. That I still had 2 hours of my time kind of like devoted to this. And it actually ended up not being $22. It actually was $25.14. For these orders, I could not click on the payouts and see a breakdown of the base pay and the tips. So I don't know why it doesn't show that for these type of orders, but it didn't. Like I said, I had 2 hours wrapped up into it. 38 miles put on my car. So it just, even though it was paying $25, it probably like wasn't really, worth it. And and then the worst thing about it is coming back home after that last delivery. All of a sudden now have car issues. Really loud noise coming out of my car. My wife and I were a little bit freaked out. We were kind of concerned that maybe I might be on the verge of having my car break down on the interstate. Fortunately, that's not the case. We made it to the drive-thru to get something to eat. Made it to my garage where there's now a small river of fluid underneath my car. And so now I have to try to get my car into the dealership today. And unfortunately, dashing is canceled now for today. And canceled for who knows how, I don't know. I got to find out what's going on and how long before this could be fixed. And I'm assuming it's an issue with the brand new transmission that they just put in my car, which is under warranty. Shouldn't have to pay for it. But, yeah. But hopefully, if they do have to keep my car, hopefully they give me a rental. And I could still be able to dash tomorrow in my wife's car, hopefully. So fingers crossed. It's gonna kill me, like not being able to dash today, and just be like sitting on my hands all day. But it is what it is. your phone service goes down or your car goes down, either one of those two things, and you can't work with it. You just can't work. My W-2, my car breaks down or whatever. Well, I just, worst case scenario, just do an Uber ride to get back and forth to work or whatever in an emergency situation. Car breaks down, being a delivery driver, you're just out of luck. You just can't do the job at all. Oh, oh well. But anyway, that is it for this recap, and thanks so much for watching. As always, be safe out there driving, and hope your car doesn't break down on you, folks. Thanks again. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. Check out my other videos. A lot of good stuff, a lot of information for all things DoorDash. And we will see you at the next video. Thanks again for watching.